Hey, what's good? What's good? Yo, it's me, Coach Rashid. All right, let's check it out. Yo, what's up? What's up? Hey, it's Coach Rashid, and I'm back. All right. I don't know if anybody's going to be live, but I'm going to make sure I record this so that you can catch the recording because I know it's the last minute. The time might be a little different, but I'm excited. You know why? Because, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. And there's some news that I want to put out there. And well, you know what? All you can do is talk about it, right? Um, one of the things that I noticed is some people have this issue, and I know I was going to talk about some different things. I have a list of things that I want to talk about. I want to get into, before I start rolling down this thing. A lot of times when you hear me get on and I talk, and I always have like certain topics I want to get into, and there's always something that happens right at the last minute, and everything kind of goes left, right? But here's what I want to do. I want to stick to a couple of topics. I do want to talk about there are some things about the Clarity Act and the delay. There's some things about how the SEC is kind of jumping in and they're saying, hey, we got your back. Don't worry. We'll create some rules if you can't create them. If you can't, pass this thing. The different senators that are involved in that, it does cause us some pause. But at the end of the day, one of the things that I will tell you is there will be a crypto bill somewhere in the future. It just may not look like what you think it's going to look like or should look like. So that's something that I'm definitely going to get into. So we're going to talk a little bit about like the Clarity Act and Genius Act and how they complement each other. We're going to talk a little bit about stable coins, just to kind of make sure people understand what that is and how that relates to our topic. And when we talk about blockchain speaks, some people may not understand what is a blockchain. What is a blockchain podcast? What is crypto talks? I mean, all of these things make sense when you spend the time and you actually get some definitions behind the titles, right? And so I'll spend maybe one episode where I'll just talk about just terms, right? And go into terms. And a lot of information is available, but I think it's something that we definitely should do. But as you can tell, I got this hat on, Litecoin. That's my Litecoin hat. My background, I'm just kind of experimenting with different things, so bear with me on that. This is probably one of the first times that I've kind of went live, and I got the recording going, so we'll be able to post that up on the actual Podbean podcast. So right now, before we kick this off, I do want to try something to see what you think about it. Do you think that I can modify this or do something to create a little more excitement around the introduction? Let me know what you think.
Welcome to Blockchain Speaks, your new go-to podcast. Join us as we dive deep into the world of blockchain technology. Explore the latest trends, insights, and expert interviews. Unlock the potential of cryptocurrencies and decentralized finance. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, there's something here for you. Subscribe now to Blockchain Speaks and be part of the conversation. This is...
So that's just a little taste of something I was playing around with to see, if I need to put some fancy music behind it or, do something to give it a little life. But yeah, it's a work in progress. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to come out. I want to talk to you guys about some really important things that are going on. And one of the most important things I can talk to you about is crypto security. I can talk to you about the latest, what I could say, project that has been affected by the lack of security, by some type of breach. And a lot of people may be interested to hear this. Why? Because when it comes to projects out there, you and I know that when somebody gets a hold to a project, they will spread the word. They will say, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And so they reach out to you on every avenue to try their best to get you to take a look at it and then they want you to become part of it. What does that mean? That means that there is no lack of crypto projects out there. Blockchain has ushered in a way for, there are some secure ways to bring on new platforms. If it's a trading platform, if it's an online investment platform, if it's a meme coin, if it's a tokenized, security, or if there's node projects, and all of these great things are out there. But when you have great technology, some people use it for really good stuff, and there's always going to be people use it for bad stuff. So I want to really, preface this next kind of segment with, you got to remember, scams didn't start with blockchain and crypto. Let me let that sink in for a minute, because there's a lot of people out there that want to say, hey, what's this Bitcoin thing? Oh, Bitcoin is a technology that is similar to your dollar or your regular currency that you use for medium exchange. And they're like, that's that scam stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. So did scams start with crypto? Because I'm pretty sure there were pyramid schemes that had no crypto involved with them. I'm sure the Bernie Madoffs of the world didn't touch a Bitcoin at all and stole a lot of people's, IRAs and retirement accounts. Now, I'm just, I may be wrong, but scams didn't start with crypto. So we can take that off the table right now. But bad people have always been around. Now, that's just my take on it, but you may have another take on it, and I'll be happy to hear about that. But it's interesting that people really go there, right? So here on Blockchain Speaks, we're going to speak about it, because I don't see a problem with somebody that has a good idea and they're saying, look, I need to raise funds in order to get my idea off the ground. And if they're legit, if they are, good-minded, then why not go ahead and create a blockchain process so you can deliver tokens that will be supported by some form or fashion of return in the future, right? And that's what tokenization really is, right? You're just taking a substitute for fiat currency or US dollars or whatever kind of dollars and, these type of things out there. And you promise that, look, if you can purchase these tokens that I created based upon some legitimate utility, maybe I'm going to build a better mousetrap, right? For real estate, or for, purification of water, or for the airline industry, whatever it may be. You may have a great idea, but you don't have the funds, and you can't go to the bank, and you just have some challenges, but you have someone that can create a great plan and put it on chain. And there's a lot of, companies out there that can help you with that. And you issue your own token that will help you to create funds that then later on people invest, and they invest through these actual funds. And these tokens will be what is representing the value that the ROI is based on, right? So there's nothing wrong with the concept, but there's always somebody that messes up this thing. And those are the scammers and the criminals out there. So there's been 2 victims that I've known about this week alone, and I want to just hit on them real quick. And I'm gonna give you a taste of, kind of like I said, my opinion about it, because I look at these things a little differently. I don't look at them as, oh, these are bad and these are good, and I know what they're thinking and I know why they did what they did. No, I'm not one of those behind MLM or some singing guy on YouTube that just earns their living by bashing every popular program. That's not how I roll. I mean, we can talk about 3 projects that in the last couple of months or so that have really made people feel horrible because they claimed a breach, or they say somebody hacked their system or their security, somebody stole funds, and now they have to shut down, or they have to pause, or they have to figure out how they're going to get your money back. Those things are going to happen in this space, right? So there's a couple of them that I found out about recently, and even one this morning actually. And so I said, you know what, that's what I'm gonna talk about a little bit, because I just want people to know that there's some good in this, and then there are some challenges as well. So I wanted to find an article that supported this problem with one of these companies. This company is a huge, huge, huge crypto blockchain tokenization. I mean, they're doing it all. They claim to be around for about 2 years. I've known about this particular organization for at least a year plus. I've had numerous people ask me if I'm part of it, if I, what's my opinion of the company? Do I think it's going to last? I mean, I had close partners that's been with me in variety of programs. They saw an opportunity and they went in with that. And I was like, wow, that's great. It just wasn't right for me for whatever reason. I didn't personally join, but I looked at everything and I said, man, it's a really, really good, good plan they got there. Great business model. So I don't know. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. So with that being said, I do want to go over here and let's take a look at it. And I'm like I said, I'm not going to make this whole show about it, but I want to talk this just a little bit, just so you understand the dynamics of literally what I go through all the time when I am looking at these different types of programs. All right. So right here, you see it says security incident, right? So hopefully you can see my screen and you see where it says security incident. So this program is called Aurum Foundation. So Aurum Foundation, like I said, it's been around for a long time. I mean, they got like 25,000 subscribers in their Telegram group. And they claim, I don't know personally, but they say they have over 300,000 members, which is like ridiculously large for these type of organizations. And so that being the case, man, this is a tough one to swallow because I thought, hey, they got things together. They're moving along really well. I'm like, hey, this is great. I literally had a conversation with my partner, good guy, been knowing for a long time. When I was out in Texas, I was on vacation last couple of weeks and we were actually talking. I was in the store and trying to buy some things and I said, you know what, I hadn't talked to him in a while, so let's talk, man, let's chop it up. And he really talked highly of it. He's doing really good. He's making good money. So I was like, wow, man, that's great. So we had a good conversation about it. And so this morning I get this notification from somebody about this and they basically were like, it's gone. And I'm like, no, it can't be gone. So I said, there's got to be more to the story. So here's what I know. It says during the final stage of their transition to a new Web3 infrastructure, the platform became the target of a sophisticated and coordinated cyber attack. Now, for those of us that's been in this space for a while, most of the time when that comes up as the problem, it's really not the problem. I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment. If they got hacked, then they got an attack. Okay, you know what? They're pretty big, big target. Somebody may have went after them. I don't know. Maybe that happened, right? But that's what it says. And so basically they say the transition to the Web3 infrastructure was part of Aurum's long-term strategy to meet the evolving requirements of the global regulators while strengthening the platform's security, transparency, and long-term reliability. Now, something else that I looked up earlier, found a little bit about, this platform. Hong Kong had issued a security warning against this particular business, and a few other countries had done so as well. So, this happens a lot in our industry. And the one thing I can tell you is they don't mean a lot unless they have evidence that there's some wrongdoing. So there are people out there that will say, oh my gosh, give me a reason to talk bad about this organization. I don't have a reason to talk bad about Aurum, and I'm not going to. All I'm saying is there's always more information. Now, what I am going to talk about is this space and the security aspect, and the attacks, the cyber attacks, the server attacks and things like that. I will talk about that because I've seen this happen a few times in my days. So let me just one more thing here. It says a comprehensive investigation and full security audit of the entire infrastructure is currently underway. Every affected system is being thoroughly reviewed, strengthened, and secured before return to operation. So they're saying, look, we're going to fix this, but we just need to, determine the full scope of the problem. Now, And so at the end of this string of emergency, call with the CEO, blah, 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 right here they say, look, during this session, the CEO of the foundation provided an official update on the recent security incident, explained what happened, shared the progress made so far, and outlined the company's recovery plan. So basically, that's what happened. He says, hey, look, we're going to check this out. We're going to figure it out, see how we can fix this. And so that's all we can do is let them do what they got to do to figure it out. So I'm not passing judgment on Orem, not just, because, Hong Kong decided that they want to, put a security warning out for Orem. I'm not going to say that they're doing anything wrong, because there are other, organizations in the US that have that label on them, and they've had that label on them for like 8 months, right? And they're still going, and there's been no shutdown, no IP addresses that have been blocked, right? And so unless there's something that actually is wrong with the organization, that they violated something, then there's no reason to pass judgment. So that's one. There's another one called Zoaco, and that one, I've been looking at that, and I was like, okay. And so after like about 5 days, me and a few other investors, we were looking at it saying, okay, how's this thing going to roll? Is it going to, it's going to mature? Is it going to do what it said it's going to do? And all of a sudden they said, hey, look, we got influx, got cash coming in. We got investors from, just different countries, and, just really a lot of interest on the platform. And they had like some promos going, they really was putting it out there. And then all of a sudden, boom, they say, hey, we need to step back because we just had a cyber attack and they stole money and, this, that, and the other. So this is just common stuff that happens in this space, right? So I just wanted to highlight that there's a couple of those that have been kind of put on notice. They said they got cyber attacks. One of them said they got hacked. They both said money was stolen, and they basically happened in the same week. So it's kind of weird, but that's what we see. We know that there's another one about a month ago or so that, a lot of people, like another 300,000-400,000, they say was in it, and maybe more than that, was very popular, cut and paste signals. That's what they say. All of a sudden, boom, it goes up. And then all of a sudden they start asking you to pay more money just to access your account, or you don't get access. Well, after they pay you about 4 or 5, 6 times and you're making good money, then you'll probably do anything to keep that account, right? And that's what they were thinking. So a lot of people got kind of railroaded and kind of lost their interest in online platforms based on that particular scam that was run with that particular platform. Like I said, I'm not getting into names and getting into all the negatives, but I'm just saying you got to keep your eyes open. There are cyber attacks. Crypto didn't invent the scam. It didn't invent the bad actors. Those were already here. There are just people out there exploiting what is good in this particular arena. So transition, bam. So what I want to tell you is this. More people are learning about blockchain every single day. Blockchain is becoming an important part of many industries, including finance, logistics, healthcare, and real estate. More businesses are adopting digital solutions today. It's time to gain a better understanding of this technology and why it matters. In real estate, blockchain supports tokenized property and fractional ownership by providing a transparent and secure way to record and manage digital ownership. Learning about blockchain is not just about understanding technology. It is about recognizing how digital innovation is changing the way people interact with real-world assets. As adoption continues to grow, blockchain knowledge is becoming a valuable skill for buyers, professionals, and anyone interested in the future of real estate. This is the core message that I want you to take away from our conversation today. That Blockchain Speaks is going to speak about the benefits of blockchain, crypto, real world assets, and absolutely the future is based upon adoption and bridging the gap with tokenization. This has been my time with you. It's been exciting. I want you to keep your eyes open for future extensive conversations about all things blockchain, crypto, and the related technology. I appreciate your time. I hope that you come back and visit Blockchain Speaks on this particular avenue, as well as on Podbean. And I will post up the recording there so that you can check it out at any time you desire. All right. It's been Rashid, and I will see you on the next one. Peace, and I'm out.
If you want it, yeah. If you want it, yeah. If you want to get your real estate game on, turn your attention to the industry that's the most strong. Yeah. Yeah. Scrolling through listings, I'm scrolling through plays. They talking opinions, I'm talking in pay. Luxury villas, condos, I'm running away. Cash flow season, got them for days. Still on screen, but I'm reading the block. Cap rate hitting like a watch full of rocks. I'm chasing views and I'm not broken. Click after click, I'm collecting NC tokens. Yeah. If you wanna get your real estate game on, turn your attention to the industry that's the most strong. Buy low with crypto, let the rent pay on and then on. Turn your attention to the industry that's the most strong. If you wanna get your real estate game on, shift yours from the flexing to the proof. Stack tokens, stack shares, that goes long. Turn your attention to the industry that's the most strong. Yeah. Yeah, crypto hack on point, yeah, stay paying my share. No worry about long cat, the numbers all there. They flashing labels on, flashing the square. Line on the contract, my name right there. Tokenization replacing my bread. Just daily profits and daily hands there. Premium properties on the blockchain, keep me investing ahead of the game. Whoa, if you wanna get your real estate game on, let's go. Turn your attention to the industry that the most strong. Buy low with crypto, let the villa pay on and then on. Turn your attention to the industry that's the most strong. If you wanna get your real estate game on, shift yours from the flexing to the proof. Stack tokens, stack shares, that goes long. Turn your attention to the industry that's the most strong. Yeah. Yeah.